App developers and programmers of Reddit, what was the dumbest app/program idea someone ever proposed to you? My uncle suggested I create a type of digital map that could direct you places and help you get from point A to point B. He suggested this 3 weeks ago. My favorite but dumbest was Chipotle Date, which would match you with people with similar or compatible Chipotle orders. My family has a technology business, and when my mom started to learn to make apps to support the product, she made a test app first. The whole app was just one search bar that you could type any word and it would do nothing, unless you searched loser, and then it would pop up with a picture of me from middle school with a bad sunburn and braces. Thanks, Mom. Any attempt to create another social media app? Knock-offs of popular games, like the plethora of Temple Run games. An app for a smartwatch that will run in the background and periodically meow. I had a friend who had an idea for YouTube, but better. He didn't know how it would be better. Also, he had no idea about domain names, hosting, VPS, maintaining a website, designing a website, or literally anything. After he explained it, I let him down as gently as I could. That is the stupidest fucking idea I've ever heard. I have a buddy who is a programmer and a while back wanted to just get used to making an iPhone app and uploading to the iTunes store so that he was familiar with the process for when he wanted to do a real app. As practice, he made an app that would randomly generate a name based on census data. More common names were more common. It made it on some website's list of top 10 lazy apps, and a bunch of authors started buying it. Last I heard, he had made about $20,000 on his stupid app he uploaded for practice. A friend of mine wanted me to make an app that turned your phone screen into a mirror. Not front-facing camera, not just blacking the screen, but a literal mirror. He couldn't grasp why this wasn't possible. Also, any kind of new social media app that they think can be made by one person in an hour. Not mine, but for our capstone project, various faculty around campus get to put in project proposals for us to choose from. The worst fucking proposal was a Magic 8-Ball type of app, but instead of a Magic 8-Ball, it was a psychic dog. It was supposed to scan your dog's paw and give some kind of 8-ball-esque answer to your question. The group that got stuck with that project, I felt so bad for them. Repeatedly asking for changes the night before each deadline and getting upset when it didn't come out the way they wanted. Also, they wanted to charge money for this shit app too. An app that does your taxes for you after talking about a site that does it. An app to make XYZ noise. A website to take custom butcher orders. The reason this is dumb is that nobody in the shop would know how to run it except for me, and I was one of the butchers. Anything that starts with "I have the idea," you build the whole thing. We split. 100% science-based dragon MMORPG. Someone tried to sell a friend a membership to the new internet. She asked me to sit in and listen to the sales guy's pitch. At the time, I was running a web hosting business along with managing a smaller dial-up ISP's networking infrastructure. The new internet was going to be built new from the ground up. All new infrastructure, but without all the stuff that makes the internet bad. The sales guy couldn't explain how that was going to work. For only $50, my friend would get a lifetime membership. Members of the new internet could surf the old internet and enter information about old internet web pages into a form on the new internet about those old internet pages. then the new internet could suggest pages on the old internet when members of the new internet did searches about them. The members of the new internet would get paid for entering this information on the new internet system. So after a while, new internet's members would start making money and recover their membership fee. My sister-in-law thought I should make a business using drones to make fake reindeer hoof prints on roofs and other evidence of Santa, and when I told her that's not going to work, she said, well, you should make a program that does that with a drone and sell that. I got mixed reviews on this one, so I'll add it to the list. Back when I was in a coding program, our final project was to propose an idea, have the group vote on it, and build the app. My app idea was a Yelp-like app for finding public restrooms, and leaving reviews on them. Some classmates said that was a smart idea, while others weren't so excited about it. I once had a friend who wanted me to urgently make a full-on sports betting app in 1 week. Like, talk about choosing beggars extraordinaire. He wanted one person to make a commercial betting app go live in 1 week. Urgently. I could all but laugh in his face and tell him to fuck off. I hope this qualifies because it is the most unrealistic request I've ever heard. A guy wanted to build a game engine that would incorporate all the major game categories, FPS, RTS, Sim, Open World RPG, etc., as building blocks, and let a player create a custom one-off game session by picking which of the elements to combine into a game that would then be multiplayer over the internet. I am not capable of imagining the code it would take to make something like this work. Mile Real's delivery service will go to restaurants and deliver food to you house, or go to the store and pick up your groceries. My pitch to an entrepreneurial class in 1998. Games to play while driving. They only had the vague concept and couldn't see why it may be a problem. True story. At a company I worked for, we had created an app that tracked employees' time. Each employee would have to log in and click a button to clock in. We were approached by a manager of a department that wanted us to create an app that would allow the employee to log in and then click a button that would then essentially click the one button the employee would have to click to clock in. Like, seriously? Did you just ask us to build an application to click one button when it would be the exact same as using the other app? Old boss runs a low-level IT company. Wanted me to develop a backup redundancy for military air traffic control software, including designing our own hardware. All because I used to be a controller. No idea how to design, build, or test hardware, no concept of military systems, designs, or contracts. Federal regulations, military agreements, anything. No software development background. Basically, he had an idea with absolutely no way to implement and no idea where to start. Ultimately, he ditched that idea in favor of certifying small businesses as HIPAA compliant and got angry that I wouldn't just give him a checklist of things to check due to the litany of federal compliance requirements that were deemed too much work to review, learn, codify, and comply with. Trash. Oh God, there's so many. But I'll just mention one type. Every company with more than 100 employees and a non-tech savvy boss will at some point piss away 7 figures on a branded social app or website that's going to be the next Facebook or Twitter, where millions of potential customers will certainly want to hang out and... Crickets. Yeah, you're going to shut that thing down within 6 months because it is too embarrassing that your big bet social community is a buggy, boring, blatantly sales-focused ghost town. Local line cook wanted me to make this app as a side project. Open your refrigerator and take a picture with your smartphone. The app will give you all of the recipes that you can make with the stuff in your fridge. The app itself would be amazing, if it wasn't basically impossible to build. Edit. Line cook to line cook. A contest/raffle app where people would be entered to win prizes, and somehow large companies, Coca-Cola for instance, would pay us a few cents for each ticket entered. He just needed someone to put together the code over a weekend and promised me 30% of the profits. He had no answer when I asked him why would large companies pay for us to run raffles through this app. I declined his offer. A drone delivery of food exclusively to people floating the river. Guess what we were doing?